Jess Douglass, owner of Flowers and Weeds, an urban floral studio and greenhouse, to make our own flower bouquet.
So have you ever made a flower bouquet before?
I have not, but I'm so excited.
Okay, I think a really good tip to start with in floral design is to always start with greenery.
Okay.
And try and use at least 3 varieties of greenery.
What are some of your favorite greenery to use, like within a bouquet?
Well, it really depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to fill up space, something like acacia here or eucalyptus. This is a willow eucalyptus. There's all sorts of different textures and sizes in eucalyptus land. So that's one of my absolutely favorite, most versatile greens.
Smells very good.
It smells good too.
Yes.
So a really good tip is to always try and break down what you can. So if you have 3 big pieces connected, you don't want to just stick them all in there. You want to try and break them apart, and that'll just give you a little bit more flexibility in your design.
Okay.
Another thing you want to do is always clean the bottom of your stems, because when I didn't do that earlier, you can already see that there's greenery at the bottom. So you always want to clean your stems, and you can always picture yourself making the arrangement. So if you want that greenery piece to go about right there, you know you need to cut it about right there to fill into the vase.
So you just more let the shape of the glass piece kind of detail what you're going to do with the rest?
A really good way to think about it is starting with a triangle. That's very elementary in design, is doing a triangular shape.
Okay.
So this is going to be a very loose triangle though, but you can already see we've got the point here, we've got a point here, and we've got a point here. So we're just going to fill in a little bit more greenery. This just helps to give you a base, and you want to always cross your stems at the bottom of the vase.
What's the benefit in doing that? Did you just keep it together better?
Yeah,
or?
it keeps it, makes it strong, and also like to have a center point of design so that everything feels like it's coming from one place and your eye flows naturally through the arrangement instead of haphazardly coming from this way and this way, and, you know.
Sure, sure.
There are a few different types of flowers. There is a filler flower or a lace flower, which is very light and airy and kind of tends to be more of an accent flower. There are focal flowers, which are very large, typically rounded center flowers. This kale is definitely a focal flower. There are line flowers, which give the arrangement a nice movement. That's really how you get a nice shape and movement from it. There are form flower. It's not necessarily a focal flower, but it has a nice large shape and a really interesting shape. Fit at least one of your focal flowers. So now you have a place where your eye is going to focus.
Okay.
So now I'm taking my line flowers. Remember to clean the stems. This is called grevillea, and you can instantly start to see the form and the shape taking place. And I'm creating that triangular shape. I'm just kind of accenting that further with those. And then I'll take another one and we can bring it down here. And again, anytime you're not sure where you want to place it, you can kind of gauge and, you know, you squint a little bit. That helps too.
It does.
Then I will come in with some form flowers. Something like this iris here that's not necessarily a focal flower, but it has a nice large shape and a really interesting shape. Yeah. So this is kind of something that you can highlight and accent, make it a little bit taller perhaps than everything.
Do you keep a color palette in mind at all when you approach these, or do you just kind of like to
Absolutely.
let it?
Color is one of the most important parts about design. Okay. And if you're gonna go all out color, then you can go colorful and crazy and not have necessarily a monochromatic color palette, but you definitely wanna think about that. So here is a tulip. So tulips are interesting because I would consider them to be like a form flower, but they also have a really interesting line to them, and they continue to grow when you put them in an arrangement. So you have to think about that. If you want it to be here, but then you're like, the party's not till Saturday, so by Saturday it'll be out to there. So, you know, if you want it to be there by Saturday, cut it about right there. So it's an interesting little tip for these live creatures we're dealing with. Once you feel like you have a nice base of your line and flowers, you can kind of start coming in with your accent flowers, lace flowers. So I have scabiosa here. Down there are some sweet peas. And I would definitely consider sweet peas to be like a lacy accent flower, but again, they do have a bit of that line to them as well. So you can definitely create some lovely movement with sweet peas. These are so wacky, I know.
That is so crazy.
But I love it so much, so I'm just gonna stick it in just because it's local and it's beautiful and it's a weirdo. All right, yeah, he's goofy, but I love him. So there you go. That's about, like, I would say a $45, $50 flowers and weeds arrangement. So.
Beautiful. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So this is for me, right?
Yes, you can take that home.
So Jess, thank you so much for teaching us how to make this beautiful flower arrangement. I'm feeling so inspired by this. If you've made any of your own flower arrangements at home, we'd love to see. So please share with us either in the comments below or tag us on Instagram at HealthyWay Media.
And don't forget to tag Flowers and Weeds and also follow us on Instagram at Flowers and Weeds.